Welcome back. Let's quickly take you to the SCO Summit that is currently underway. And as we were showing you earlier, those are the latest visuals of Indian Prime Minister arriving at the SCO Summit in Samarkand. It's going to be a hectic day ahead for the Indian Prime Minister as he's been welcomed very warmly by the Uzbeki President. And in a short while from now, we should be seeing him. And those are the most recent visuals of the photo op that's taking place at the SCO Summit of all the member nations. Remember, it is going to be, that is the photo op that's just taken place. Indian President flanked by heads of state. I can see the Chinese President Xi Jinping as well over there. Part of that photograph, even the Russian President Vladimir Putin spotted in that group photo of the SCO member states that has just taken place. As we were showing you earlier, the Indian Prime Minister also shared a firm handshake with the Uzbeki President. What we will try and find out is if the Indian Prime Minister had that firm handshake with the Chinese President Xi Jinping as well or not. But that is the latest that we are bringing to you. Indian Prime Minister in a firm handshake with the Uzbeki President Shavkat Mirziyoyev. The group photograph has just taken place, and this is going to kickstart a host of engagements for the Indian Prime Minister at the SCO Summit today. Remember, what we do know of are two crucial bilaterals that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be having with Russian President Vladimir Putin, who I can also see as part of that photograph. For more details, let's quickly go across to our political editor, Maria Shakil, who's joining me on the phone line. Maria, so the group photograph has just taken place. It's going to be an interesting day ahead for India. We do know of the bilaterals that are taking place, which are Russia and Iran, how crucial they are going to be for India today.
Yes, so the Prime Minister is all set to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin, and this will be the first face-to-face meeting coming in the backdrop of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and India has taken a stand, understanding fully well its own domestic requirements and its own needs, and that has, several have lauded India's, stand because it understands of the geographical challenges that India has. Having said that, the 22nd Regional Summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, that is the SCO, has begun in Samarkand, Uzbekistan. This is the first in-person summit of the bloc in 2 years. The Prime Minister arrived in Samarkand last night, and he skipped the pre-summit events, including an informal dinner. The meeting with Vladimir Putin, as we have been highlighting, is important. The photos that are on our television screens is of the group photo, which is of this very key regional summit. And the Prime Minister, before he embarked on this journey, had tweeted that he is looking for a larger cooperation, some strategic announcements in terms of trade deals as well. In what was seen as a major embarrassment, the Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif's failed attempt to put on his headphone, which actually got a lot of reaction as well. But the Prime Minister and his meetings with Russia's Vladimir Putin, whether there will be another meeting with Iran's Ibrahim Raisi, that remains to be seen. But all other leaders from the Central Asian countries are present in this meeting, and that becomes important. And the focus certainly has been of greater regional cooperation. And of course, as far as the larger motive and the achievements of the SCO is concerned, that is something which India is constantly saying that India is part of multiple regional groupings. And the one that happened in Japan recently, which is the Quad Summit, was of particular significance. So I'm saying when we look at these visuals, we have to put that in context of what India is and India's position vis-a-vis the global stage.
Absolutely. Stay with us, Maria, because I'll also quickly go across to Abhishek Jha, who's reporting live from Samarkand right now. Abhishek, as you heard rightly pointed out by Maria, the fact that India remains a crucial part of multiple regional groupings. And what would you like to tell us about the balancing act that India has been playing between two very different groupings like the Quad and the SCO?
So this has been the beauty of Indian diplomacy in the recent past, where India has been able to make a match with the Western powers also, with USA also, with Russia also, with Iran also, even with North Korea, we have an embassy operating there. So this is how India has tried to create a balance in at the world stage, where it has said that dialogue, there can't be any substitute of dialogue, and this was the one stance that India adopted since the beginning of Russia-Ukraine conflict. While India was pitching and advocating for the dialogue and diplomacy, the Western Bloc and the USA tried to push with all their military equipment and hardware to Ukraine and create a more strong chance of war. But however, we see like 6 or 7 months down the line, there is no end in sight of the war that is happening in Russia, between Russia and Ukraine. And ultimately, the solution would be available only when the two warring sides will meet over a table for dialogue. So this is how India has always maintained since the beginning, and probably this has given a stature of neutrality also to India, where it can easily
Right.
connect with the Western blocs also. It can have a relationship with Europe also. At the same time, it can have a relationship with Russia also, and both Europe and Russia,
Right.
they do understand India's own priorities and India's own neutral stand, and this is how India is able to connect and maintain the long-standing ties with most of the in the most of the part of the world. And this has been the beauty of India's diplomacy, and that will again be at a site when Prime Minister Modi will be talking to SCO member countries. We know that at a multilateral platform, the bilateral issues does not take center stage. We know there's a sorry relationship between India and China, India and Pakistan. However, at multilateral platforms, when the collective mandate of the grouping will be to seek a collective progress and prosperity in the region, India will surely outline some major role that it can play in the region. We have seen that India has been playing a role of medicine provider in the recent past when the COVID pandemic has hit the world. It has also tried to create a more infrastructural project in the Asian region. While talking to other experts in this area, we have also witnessed a keen urge from this people from this region to have more collaboration with Indian partners, so that more infrastructural and development projects could be proceeded.
Abhishek, the other aspect that comes to mind is, of course, the crucial timing of the SCO summit. This is a time when India is eyeing and has been eyeing for very long a permanent seat in the UNSC. Having said that, as we were talking about the presidency of G20 also coming to India at the end of this year, where India will also be hosting the G20 next year. At the same time, the SCO presidency also, this is something that is very crucial for India. How